Hello everybody, this is Make It Better, and today we're doing What If Deku Had a transfer quirk part 6. Sorry, I'm in a tight spot. So last time we left off, it was a bit abrupt, but let's start right where we left it. Izuku got his letter, and he wanted to share it with everybody, his mom and his dad. So his mom pretty much told him, let's wait a few hours for Isashi to come in. Isashi came in, he did all his stuff, got food, got dressed, got a little bit relaxed. Sorry. And so he actually, he's getting relaxed, and Zuko walked up to him and pretty much told him to sit around the table, and he wants to show him the letter. So everything, all the same thing happened in the video. The same thing happened, and they were pretty happy. And they waited a week, and Zuko is getting ready to go to school. He's getting packed up, and Sashi actually stayed in a little later, for Zuko for Zuko to pose and take some pictures because they're pretty happy about him getting into it. Even though with their quirks, they didn't really expect him to go that far, but he did it. And so Zuko's up in UA because, well, you Zuko been the evaluate. Fuck, can't say it. He got into a habit of trying to go in early for the first day. So his friends actually have done the same thing. So Zuko saw class 1A, saw there was one person in there, and it was the teacher. So he decided to go to the other classes. He waited 5 minutes, and then went to class 1B, and he see Lorenzo and Adrian just sitting there just waiting, and their teacher, Blood Minier, the guy with the blood quirk. And so he saw them and talked with them, and he pretty much learned that they had the grades, they just didn't have enough points, sadly enough. I have not. Did I say what they had, what their quirks were? I'll just make sure. Um, Adrian, he learns that with his pictures, he can actually go see through walls, not close, nope, just see through walls. He can zoom in, zoom out from a mile away and make it look like perfect pictures, nothing messed up. He can take regular pictures and negative pictures. And the last one is, oh, well, he can see things invisible and take the pictures. Invisible to the people with regular eyes. But he will see everything that that people can't see. We have a small. I heard well, we have a very large gap of color that we can see, but there's so much more. Like some animals can see way more colors than we do, but dogs they see less colors than we do. So yeah, but Adrian he was able to see all the color from the darkest to the brightest and everything in between. And so that's his quirk had evolved. Gotten stronger. And Lorenzo, his quirk is baking, and pretty much any season make it better. And he learned by like giving it away that the people's quirks actually gotten boost for whatever amount of time they have that stuff in them. So about an hour to a day, well, 5 hours to a day of a boost of a quirk. So turns out his quirk it pretty much boosts other people as long as they eat his food. And so he asked, "Where is Sebastian?" And they said, "Sebastian is in the next class, 1C." And so Zuko pretty much said bye to them and went up to 1C. Sebastian's, well, his quirk has developed, but it wasn't strong enough or good enough to go in. So they're in some general studies, not in the hero course, sadly. So Sebastian, his quirk, I'll just tell you, but I don't think he'll be in it as much. His is well, pretty much, his quirk was to read music perfectly, but then it got stronger and stronger that he can see he hears the inner music of everybody. And so for Zuko, he hears a mix of rap and pop or something like that. It's just like a certain beat to everybody, and each one is different. Some are like a piano sound, violins, and then some bands, and so on. And as this was going, Zuko decided to go into his class, and pretty much as he walked in, he see Momo and Ida. And so he walked in, sat down, and pretty much showed them a peace sign and fell asleep because he did wake up a little early and it was a little too excited. So as the kids are coming in the classroom, Bakugo didn't see Deku because Deku's actually in the back, and he kind of likes being in the back. So he's in the back, and Bakugo did the same thing. And as Ida sees this, he started arguing with him. So everybody's coming in, and then Uraraka came in, and she looked to everybody, scanned the room. Oh, dang, that hurt. She scanned the room, and she sees a green-haired kid. So she walked up to him and kind of tapped on his shoulders, and he got up and see her and say, "Oh, hey, Uraraka, right?" And she says, "Yes." And he said, "How's your leg doing? Is it okay? Is it better, or does it feel bad?" And she said, "No, no, thank you for helping me, and thank you for saving me from the zero pointer." And he said, "No problem." And Ida pretty much stopped as he was getting told by Bakugo to get shove it up, and then as he was shocked, he heard Zuko. And so he ran and walked to him and saying, "I'm very sorry that I've been treating you this way, and I didn't know that you were that there was another way of getting points." And Deku said, "Well, if you weren't," he still had an attitude. "If you weren't thinking of how they mess up, you would have heard him say villain points." And then Deku said, "If you heard that, you could figure out that there might have been hero points." And he just gave him a blank share, saying so. And so a few minutes passed by. Ida is sitting down, Uraraka is sitting down, and here comes Jiro. And Jiro scanning the room and look at Deku as he's like just pretty much writing on some paperwork, writing on a notebook, just drawing. And he looked up and see Jiro, and so he gave her a smile, and she pretty much blushed and slowly walked to him. And so Zuko pretty much say, "Well, hello, Jiro," and Jiro say, "Well, hello, Zuko." And some girls are saying that they're in a first name basis. And so, and they sat down. She's sitting down right next to him, and just being quiet. At this point, it was getting loud, but Aizawa pretty much got up and saying, "You guys are getting too loud. Shut up and go outside." And so they do after some complaining, but Izuku, Bakugo, and Jiro got up and walked out first, and then the other kids after the argument. And so they do. Izuku's in the dressing room as so Bakugo almost getting done, and then the guys came in. As they were changing, Zuko feels something, a disturbance in the force. And so he turns around and see that Mineta, the small purple guy, found a hole. And a certain emotion was coming up. And so Zuko was standing right in front of him. And Mineta did not see him and pretty much told the guys, "Hey guys, I found a hole to the girls' locker room." And Zuko pretty much blocked it as Zuko was as the purple kid. No, as Mineta was about to look through the hole, Zuko pretty much covered it, and Mineta was getting frustrated, saying, "Hey, move your hand." And Luke said, "No." And well, he pretty much say as he moved, he grabbed Mineta's face and pushed it against a wall. And he was complaining, "Hey, what did you do that for?" As he's holding his head. And Zuko said, "I hate people so much when they act like that too." Well, no, that won't work. You're lucky. Today is the first day. I do not want to get in trouble with the teacher right now. And Bakugo just get away. I just too much. It's too annoying. And he asked the tape guy, Zoro, to cover that berry hole, and we just left. He just can't take it. And Bakugo was about to do that with his explosion, saying, "You pissed him off, so you pissed me off." And he pretty much grabbed Mineta, pinned him to the wall, and gave him one hard hit on the stomach. And then he left. Ida was about to say something, but Bakugo said he was about to look in the girls' locker room. Think and let that sink in. And Denki and Zero, that's the only two. It was pretty much was about to do that, but they were lucky they didn't do it first. And so they were kind of scared. Everybody else was pretty cool with it. And so they walked out, and at this time, Juro heard that. Heard Deku and Bakugo doing that to them. And she was actually telling the girls what's going on. So they were pretty pissed that Mineta, the purple hair girl again, and they're pretty happy about the two guys. And so the guys pretty much finished first, and they were lining up in front, and then the girls lined up in the back. Well, kind of like that, somewhat. Yeah. And they asked, "You in the green and blonde hair?" And Bakugo and Deku turn around, and they both said yes. And all the girls said, "Thank you." And Deku and Bakugo said, "For what?" And they pretty much said, "Back there, for making sure that he doesn't look." And Deku pretty much say, "Oh, well then you're welcome. No worries. It's what a hero should be doing." And they're kind of happy that someone like that is in their class. Kind of mad that someone like that was in their class as well. And so Bakugo was asking Deku, "How did they know? Did they hear it?" And Deku said, "No. The girl in the purple hair, she probably had told him." And he looked and then looked at Deku and said, "Is she your new girlfriend?" And Deku pretty much, let's focus on the class. And Bakugo was trying to push it, and then Aizawa asked Deku to come up since he got the highest score out of everybody. Everybody's pretty shocked that he got in, got there, and so dang, I forgot his name. Aizawa pretty much asked him, "What was your longest throw?" And Deku said around 65 meters. And some people are shocked at how far he can throw. And Aizawa said, "Use your quirk and throw the ball." And so Deku did, and he threw the ball at 5%, full body, and threw it. And it went to 500 meters away. And so everybody was getting excited about using their quirks. But as Aizawa saw that and said, "This is not a game. If you guys are treating this as a game, how about this? Whoever comes last in this fitness test will be expelled immediately." And so everybody got shocked and getting scared, so they got serious. Everything happened the same, but Deku is up in the seconds to first in some of them. You guys will decide on them, mostly because I forgot what else they have done. And so the ball throws, and Raka had thrown it and has infinity. Everybody else has thrown it, got their same thing. And Deku was the last one. And as he got the ball, and well, Aizawa pretty much was handing him the ball, and as Zuko got it, he touched his hand and say transfer, and he took away his irritated and anger feeling and put it into the ball. So it was in his left hand, and I see that, and then see him putting it on the ball, and it will say thank you and sorry, and so he'll get to the circle. Aizawa was saying, "What did you do to me?" And I don't feel tired. And so Izuku pretty much told him that I pretty much took away that very emotion that was making you angry, that making you tired, and I just took it away and put it in this ball. And I say, so that's your quirk? And Izuku said, yes, that's one of them. And so he pretty much wind up the ball and pretty much think of 30%. Because right now he can use only 25%. 20% is safe, 25% that's stressful. He can still move, but it's just stressful. But 30% he will break something. So he wind up and threw that ball. The anger and tiredness is just pretty much getting rid of it because Deku doesn't need that much right now. So he threw it with 30%, and it went to 3,000 meters away, and they were pretty shocked to see that. And so Zaro pretty much looked and see him have a broken arm, and he pissed, very pissed, pretty much telling Izuku that you are with that very quirk and breaking your arm, you're very liable and pretty much out of commission after this. And for that, I'm gonna have to and Izuku say, well, sir, and as he raised his right hand, say, sir, I am healed. And Aizawa was kind of pissed because he likes saying expelled a lot. He did it to the whole class last year, and he loved it so much that he kept doing it to the whole class. But he can't. But he was also surprised, saying, so that's your other quirk, huh? And Zuko said, yeah, it's a regeneration boosted. And so he did that to cover up that he did that. Well, no. He said, it's both my quirks mixed together. Both my emotional and regeneration. So, yeah, that was what it looks like when it's mixed. And so that was pretty much say, okay. So he showed the leaderboard. Zuko was actually at the second spot. Momo at the top, Deku in the second, and everybody else is the same thing. So Invisible Girl is the last one there. And so he was yeah, I'll do that. So she is not as everybody's getting scared, and Aizawa pretty much told her, now you are not expelled. And everybody's shocked and hearing that, and Aizawa said, but you are going to go to 1B. And he will bring in a next kid coming up. So let's put in that they had to like switch and mediate on that day, and this all in first period. So in the second period, they see a new kid come in, and this is Kendo. She's the one with the big hands. Well, her quirk is pretty much grow in big hands. And Invisible Girl, what's her name? Hakakure had to go to 1B, and she's pretty sad about it. And let's go to 1B in second period. Yeah. And as she come in saying, well, hello everybody, I'm Hagakure and I'm your new classmate. And as she's going back down, sitting down on Kendo's spot, and they know that Kendo was moved up and she was moved down. And she's actually sitting right next to Adrian, and Adrian said, hey, you seem down. You want to talk about it? And she's kind of surprised that he he can see her, and she thinks he's just messing with her. And so she's saying, "No, no, I'm fine. It's okay." And Adrian say, "Well, really?" And he clicked, pull out the picture, and say, "To me, it looks like you're crying." And she's kind of shocked that he can see her. Yes, I'm doing this. And she takes a picture and say, "Wait, is this me?" And he said, "Yeah." "Wait, you can't see yourself?" And she said, "No, I can't. I'm invisible. Everybody in this whole class can see that I'm invisible." And they're in the back. And everybody's agreed that she is invisible. As the teacher say, she is invisible. And Adrian say, "Well, I can see her just fine." And they're kind of shocked that his quirk is pretty that strong. And he showed and pretty much said, "Can you smile this time?" And she kind of said, "Okay." And she gave a fake smile, and he took a picture, saying, "You can be cuter." And she kind of blushed and said, and she kind of smiled and said, "Okay, thank you." Well, she kind of smiled, and he took a picture and said, "There, much better." And she's kind of, he just tricked me, and he just showed everybody what she looks like, not invisible. And if you look at her up on Google Maps, Google, you might find her. She's pretty much blonde, and her skin is kind of pretty white. She has some freckles because I have had to search her for this. And so yeah, that's what she looks like, not invisible. And so Hakakure is starting to feel something. Will feel a little happy that she can see herself and found someone that can see her. And so she's pretty much asking him, uh, "Can you help me with my hair? Because I have no idea if it's good or not." And Adrian said, "Yeah, I can help you with your hair. I have a few sisters that I help with their hair. After class, of course. After how about around lunch?" And she said, "Okay, that's work." And she's kind of happy that she actually came to this and went to this class. Way better than the other one, especially I love that perfect. So back in 1A, everything's going on the same, and they're getting used to going to the lunch. Everything's going well. Hakakure is talking to him, Adrian. Everybody's meeting everybody else, and then it's getting close to the end of the day, and so they're wondering who's going to be their teacher for the in period. And so All Might came out and did the same thing. Told everybody to go to floor zone Gamek. If I'm wrong, then dang, I need to watch it. And so they wear all their costumes, same thing, but Deku is not wearing that mask because it does look stupid. But in what he's wearing right now, let me take out my notes, is it's the same style, but the green is no more. It's actually going to be white and black. Pretty much kind of like a yin yang kind of style. And white is hope and black is depression. Extremely strong ones. And on his back, it shows green and then the symbol for happy, blue for the symbol of with the symbol of sad, purple, well, no purple, pink for the symbol of love, red for the symbol of anger, orange for the symbol of annoyance, yellow for the symbol of relax, and gray for the symbol of fear. And so he has that in his bag in a circle of sorts. And so it have a line going towards in the middle and turns into black and white, kind of like yin yang. I like yin yang, so I want to put it in here. So they're looking at his outfit and it looks cool, and then they look in his bag and say, "And what are these for?" And Zuko pretty much told him, "My quirk." And hey, Bakugo, can you come here? And he said, "Yeah." So he say, okay, I'm ready. And Zuko said, okay. And he pretty much telling him that I can take away take away emotions from the person and put it into myself. As you can see on my back, I'm taking away the green, and you can see him now, pretty sad and anger. There's pretty much all his happiness right here, and he's acting completely different. As the whole class they agree, and he put it right back and take away anger, and he seems a lot more sadder, but doesn't do anything. He's just pretty much sad and kind of happy at the same time. So he put it back in, and then he pulled out yellow. No, he pulled out red, and he's pretty like chill, doesn't really care. And then he put it right back in. And at all this time, he was telling the class how it works. And Bakugo pretty much said, "Man, every time you do that, it gives me a freaking headache." And Uzuka said, "Oh, perfect timing." And he tell everybody, "I can also take away physical pain." So he grabbed Bakugo's shoulder and say, "Transfer," and he take away that pain. He hold his head and then gone. And Bakugo said, "Thank you." And he just walked back to his spot. And so everybody's pretty shocked to see that, and all happened in a matter of minutes. And even All Might was shocked because he wanted to see it too, the whole thing. So everything went the same. Everybody gets the same class, same partners, but Uraraka is going to be switching with Juro. So Juro is now with Deku, and Uraraka is now back going with Denki, the guy with electric current. And so everybody has done their things first and finished, and the last pairing is Deku and Juro versus Ida and Bakugo. And Deku and Juro is actually going to be the villains this time. So they go in, have a few minutes, 5 minutes to prepare, and for the heroes as well. To the heroes, Baku pretty much tell him, be careful when you see any of the blue, red, and orange colors, because those you do not want to have them touch you. Do not. If you see that, just run. And Ida say, okay, okay. And so, and that goes, Baku pretty much said, if you see black at any time, also run or try make that go to himself. And he said, okay, but what is the black one? I didn't see a black. And Baku pretty much tell him, black is a mixture of the blue, the red, the orange, and then the gray. And Ida say, the gray? What's the gray? He didn't see that one. The gray is fear. Whatever fear you have, it will be amplified by what he put in there. And so he's pretty shocked to hear that. And so, and it rang saying, "Hero team, go!" And at that time, with those 5 minutes, Deku pretty much told them, they have earbuds in. So he pretty much told her, "Okay, you be here and tell me everywhere to go." And she said, "Yeah, perfect." And so she put her foot in and pretty much see everybody. And Deku pretty much say, "You know what? Here." And he gave her 3 marbles. A blue marble, a blue and purple, no. A blue and yellow marble, a red and orange marble, and another one is the black marble, and a black and blue marble. Those 3, I just said, it pretty much was given to her. And he said, these marbles can last about 5 hours. And she said, 5 hours? And she said, these look pretty nice. where did you get these from? And Duke said, these are the emotions I had compressed to a fine enough, each one very dangerous. 5 hours and then they break immediately. So just make sure you give it back after the test. And she said, okay, what do you want me to do with them? And Luke said, you can do whatever you want with it too. But the black one, if anybody comes close, pretty much throw it at them. And she said, okay. And Deku said, and try go backwards as far as you can, because when it bursts, it will go to the nearest person, and affects them deeply. So she said, okay. And so Izuku hears the bell and start running down, and acting Duro in his ear, saying, "Hey, where are they now?" And she said, "In the first floor, and going on the up the ladders, up in the corner." And Izuku knows exactly where to go, so he went down, and he see both of them. As they were going up, they decided to split up. Sadly, so they decided to split off. Bakugo went one way to the left, and Ida went to the right. And Deku pretty much went to the left, running into Ida first. And so Ida's getting ready to fight, and Deku said, "Well, okay, here we go." So Ida actually came in with a flying kick, and Deku pretty much dodged it, gave him a punch up in the. I'm not really good with fighting things. So they're doing a good back and forth. Nobody's really hitting anybody. And Deku said, fine, fine. And so he pulled out a green and a yellow. A green is happy and a yellow is relaxed. But for Deku, he mixed the yellow with the red. So there's a little bit of red, but not enough. And when you're relaxed, you pretty much don't want to do anything. But when you're red, and when you're mad, you pretty much, it's just so frustrated you don't know what to do with yourself. So he compressed those two very small, and the green just pretty much hide the color, and just he made it so thinly that if you just smudge it, it will come right off. So he actually painted them to make it look like it's just green, and so he pretty much threw this to he pretty much cracked it, held it, and was waiting for Ida to do another kick because he learned his fighting style. So he waited, did a few dodge, and as he pretended to look away and to to make it look like he was going to call somebody, Ida took this chance and tried kicked him off, kick him one more time with his extreme quick. I can't say it. His blue burst. And so as he hit him, Deku pretty much threw it at Ida's face and used the momentum that he got kicked in to make him fly into the wall. Make it look like he got stuck. As Ida is pretty much breathing in and getting the emotion in him. And Deku said, "Got you." And Ida just start getting angry, almost like how Bakugo get angry at Deku in canon, getting angry, and then he can't move at all. He's like so angry he can't really move at all. Moving one arm or the next, he can't. And as he tries to use his legs, he can't. And Deku pretty much told him, "Well, I am Fly. My yellow one, as you can see on the back, is relaxed. I can make it where you can't move." And Deku said, "Get a capture tape and wrap down around Ida and said, 'You're out.'" And so he pulled out that very emotion and put it into himself. He breathed in and breathed out and say, now get going." And Ida's pretty much mad at him, and then happy that he didn't go in a worse way. And so Joe pretty much told him, "Hey, are you done yet?" And Deku said yes. And she told him that he's in the third floor and about to be on the fourth. So Deku say, "Is he close to me?" And she say, "Yes, he's about almost above you." And so Deku pretty much punch right up all the way to the fourth floor and jumped up there and see Bakugo right in front of him and say, "Well, hello. I guess we're gonna have our rematch, huh?" So Bakugo pretty much said, "Guess so." And so they get in the fighting stance and start fighting, right and left, and pretty much blocking each other, doing right hooks at the same time, taking in the punch just to hit each other. And then Deku is actually getting better at this. And so as he was flying away, he kicked Bakugo on the side as he's falling away. So he's using the momentum to kick Bakugo. And so as Bakugo was trying to get up, Deku pretty much pulled in a motion and just forced it going. He actually held it in, and this one is sadness and fear. It's all blue and gray, and held it in, and so he was pretty much making it look like he's really tired, pretty much swaying side to side, and kind of breathing heavy, and so Bakugo see that and try to take his chance and do a. He did want to do a special move, so he used his quirk, his gauntlet, and pull the trigger. All Might was going to say something, and then it was too late, so Bakugo already did it and did that massive explosion, and Deku stood there and took it, and he fell, and he pretty much is making his body not heal just yet. He's healing all the internal, but outside it looked like he's is staying like that. And Bakugo is getting his tape and trying to wrap him around, and as he was grab his Deku's hand, Deku pretty much grabbed his hand and forced that very emotion into him, pushing him away, standing up, and pretty much cracking his neck and arms. And pretty much saying, well then, that was something. That was really strong, man. And everybody in his class is kind of shocked that he just took a blast about 2 feet away and lived to tell the tale. And All Might was about to say something, but he just remembered that Deku has a regeneration quirk. He can't really get hurt as much. Well, he can get hurt. He can get hurt, but he just healed immediately in a few seconds, at very most minutes. And so Deku pretty much got his capture tape and wrapped it around, and All Might pretty much said, "Villain team wins," and everybody's pretty shocked that they won in that fashion. They were figured that Bakugo was going to get close to the bomb, but they never got close at all. So, end of the day, it happens. Everybody's leaving school. Everybody's going to their stations, and Bakugo and Deku pretty much saying bye. And Bakugo said, "And where are you going?" And Deku said, "Well, I'm going to meet somebody." And Bakugo said, "So she's going to be your girlfriend or something?" And Deku said, "Well, you'll see." And so he just walked off and texted Juro, "So where are you?" And she said, "Up front and on the right." And Deku said, "Yeah, okay, got it." And so he walked up front and see her. And so he said, "So, with the promise, you got in?" And she said, "Yeah." "So should I ask you or you're asking me?" And Deku said, "I'm asking you. Juro, will you go out with me and be my girl?" And Juro said, "Yes." And pretty happy as well. And like extremely excited that he said and asked her out. And so Deku's pretty say, "Let's do it on Wednesday." And she said, "Yeah, let's do it on Wednesday after the hospital." And he said, "Of course." So time passed by. They're getting used to the whole class thing. And on Wednesday, sorry, I have no idea what to think of now. I'm not sure if it's a week or a month. Let's do it a month. So Deku pretty much pretty much took had her has a date with Jiro. Uh, the first part is actually going to the hospital and seeing all the kids how they're doing, and she's just getting used to it and very happy that she sees Deku as he is with the kids instead of with the adults. Afterwards, they went on a good date, and Deku pretty much took her to a movie that she liked, and he liked it the same as well. And afterwards, they got some dinner, and Deku pretty much asked her, "So, do you want to go anywhere else?" And she has had no idea where else to go, so she said, uh, "Let's just stay. I don't know where to go, where else to go." And so Deku said, "I have one more spot, and then we can go." And so she say, "Okay, where?" And so Deku said, "Well, I guess you have to follow me." And she kind of like grabbed his hand and say, I'll follow you anywhere." And so they do, and Deku pretty much take her to the beach that he was cleaning for training. And there's some trash out, and so he just moves those away and say, "Well, here we are." And she say, "Wow, this is beautiful. I never knew this was here." And Deku said, "If you look up in this place, you'll see the pictures, and it was pretty bad. So me and the teacher of mine pretty much he told me to clean here, so I did, and I thought that would be a perfect place for you to see." So as they pretty much are sitting down on the sand, looking in the waves, and the sun is setting down. So they could pretty much turn to her and say, "So what time did they say? And did your parents say it would be okay?" And she said, "At 10." And Deku said, "It's 9:40. I think we can make it. I'm not sure." And she said, "We're not gonna make it." And Zuko said, "Well, let's make it last." So they just got up and started holding hands, walking, and leaving. And that's the end of their date. So some of their classes have been going on the same way. The first week I went through smoothly, third week and second week, third week, and so here comes the scene. Yeah, on the third week on Friday. Yeah, I'll do it there. No, on the fourth week on Wednesday. On the fourth week on Wednesday, they had to decide who's going to be the class president. So everybody pretty much voted as the same thing, but this time it's actually Deku and Momo. And Deku is pretty much cool with it because he was the class president last time, and so he takes the responsibility and he's not gonna give it away. And the same thing as they go to the scene of the lunch, and they're pretty much sitting down having a nice meal, and they see and the whole class see that Deku and Juro is getting really close to each other. At this time, they don't know that they're dating, but some of them have given hints, and they've been giving hints that they are. So they're just sitting down right next to each other, eating food and talking. And Zuko pretty much looked to his right and left, and then he hears it. Hey, Sebastian, Lorenzo, and Adrian pretty much saying, "Hey, Deku, it's been a while, huh?" And Deku said, "So where you guys been? I couldn't find you in the lunchroom at all." And they say, "Well, we actually just took our lunches and eat at the classroom." And Deku said, "Something's off. One of you, is it you?" And he's pointing at Sebastian because Sebastian usually gets the girls first. And Sebastian said, "What?" And Deku pretty much said, "No, that's not you." And he points at Lorenzo, and he sees it, but it's not as big as it should be. So he looked at Adrian, and Adrian said, "Wait, what? Did something happen?" And Deku said, "I don't know. Did something happen? I can see the pink. It's really big." And his friends pretty much know what each color means. And in his class, they don't really remember as much. Some of the girls remember because it's love. they like it and they pretty much love it. And yeah, and some of them say, "What? He can see the emotions too?" And Jiro pretty much explaining them. He can read your inner thoughts. He can't read your mind exactly, but your inner thoughts. So if he asks you a specific question, he's looking up for a specific the specific answer. And so he does that, and well, that's just when he pretty much boosted his quirk. Now, a long time ago, in high school, middle school, he can only read your emotions and the scaling of it. Like he sees all your emotions and see which one is the biggest at all of them. And they're pretty shocked that she knows that much about his quirk already. And one of them is like poking fun, saying, "So you know Deku that so well. It seems like you guys are dating." And she's kind of blushing and pretty much start eating her food. And Deku's ignoring this and saying, "So, who did you catch?" And he's trying to like make fun of it, but he can't be as himself in front of his classmates, just not yet. And at this time, Hagakure say, "Hey guys, it's been a while, but Adrian, would you like to have lunch with me?" And Deku said, "Oh, that makes a lot more sense. I figured it would be one of the I figured it'd be one of them, but so how far have you gone? Have you guys gone?" And Hakakure is actually blushing, but no one can see that. And Adrian say, "Dude, boundaries. Stop it. She's blushing right now." And she's pretty much hitting him, saying, "Stop!" And the Deku said, "Wait, you can see her?" And Adrian said, "Yeah, here." And he's pulling out a pocket and pulling out a picture, saying, "Look, that's what she looks like." And they're pretty, and almost everybody in class 1A wants to see what she looks like, and they see it and say, "She's pretty cute." The guys say she's pretty cute, and the girls say, "Wow, she's so pretty." And they could say, "So, is this the only picture of her, or is there more?" And Adrian said, "That's for me to know and for you to find out." And Zuko said, "Dude, it's okay if you say two. I know you have at least one of the favorites of her. I figured you might have one of everybody here." And Avery said, "No, I don't have everybody yet." And some of the girls say, "Yet?" And I'll pretty much tell them, "It's okay, okay. He's pretty cool. He's actually really nice." And so she's pulling him away and just having him eat with her. And so he does. And that'll be the end of talking about her and him at this time. And so Adrian and no, Lorenzo and Sebastian is pretty shocked that he got a girl in the first month of UA, and they're pretty jealous. So Lorenzo asked him, "So I want to cash in my favor," and Zuko said, "That was quick." So it was something that oh, I see it. And so I'm going to put a new color, brown, and it's going to be jealousy. I'll write it down there. Jealousy. It's pretty ugly color, but it's jealousy is an ugly emotion. So Deku said, "I see the brown color," and they ask, and the UA in 1A say, "Wait, what's brown? What's brown?" And they ask Juro, "Wait, what's brown?" And Juro say, "I don't know. That one's he doesn't want to say. He never told me about it." And so some girls say, "He never told you that? Wait, are you guys friends or are you guys a couple?" And that's thing. Who was it? Suyu actually asked, "So are you guys a couple or are really close friends?" And so she's Jiro's pretty much blushing and not saying a thing. And Deku pretty much turned around and said, "We're a couple," and turned right back around. And so all the girls are blushing, and the guys are pretty much jealous. And Deku said, "I see it, and all you guys are brown right now." And so he just turned right back around and said, "So, what's your favorite?" And Lorenzo said, "So, you know how my quirk is?" And Deku said, "Yeah. Can you find someone that will? Can you find anybody that will match perfectly with me? Make me find my perfect match." And he's kind of grinning, saying, "If you can." And he's just pretty much having fun. And Zuko said, "Okay, I'll take that challenge. Is this going to be your only your that very favor? If I and there goes pretty much saying, if I tell you that I cannot fulfill it, I will owe you two." And Lorenzo say, "Oh, a good thing I chose it." And Sebastian was going to ask something, and Deku said, "No, I need to focus on this one." And so Zuko, in that last week in the month, is like looking through all the pictures, and he found about three. No, he found two people. No, he found three people that might fit with Lorenzo. He found the same thing happens in classes. The bell, then the bell rang. There's all in Deku's mind right now, thinking. He's just thinking of all the girls that he met in middle school, and then he's thinking, "Wait, I'm in UA. I can choose them too." And he had to like, I have to freaking meet everybody too. And he kind of annoyed and say, "Okay then." And he was going to say something else, and then he heard the bell rings, alarm rings. Everybody's freaking out and trying to rush out, and they see, and then Izuku pretty much looking out in the mirror and say, "It's just the press," and everybody's not listening. So Izuku pretty much stomped down the ground with his left foot and put gray throughout everybody. He can focus on who he's doing it, so everybody that's not in 1A. Sadly, everybody else felt it too. And they start getting scared, and then Izuku pretty much stomped it again with yellow and made everybody stop. And everybody stopped, and then Izuku put down blue. Last one, blue. Everybody's like getting scared and don't know what to do right now. And so Izuku said, and pretty much yelled to everybody to look outside. It's just the press, and everybody see that, and then Zuko pretty much take all that emotion away and put down green, and they're pretty happy. And Zuko pretty much showed off one of his quirks and how he used it, being very direct. And so 1A pretty much is pretty. Everybody in the class is shocked that he can do that in a crowd of like that and not really raise his voice. And so they're pretty happy that they chose him as the class president. And so after that, going back to class, he'd like to appoint Momo to be the class representative. And they ask why, and she's pretty smart, and she figured out way sooner than I did on most things. And she had the best grades, so it makes sense. I can just dictate you guys. I will not really. I'll be in her place. She'll be in my place, and she's pretty happy that someone finally figured show her some respect. And Deku said, "So, everybody, I guess class is over then." And so they leave on that very third day of the third week and leave. And so everything went on same thing. And on the fourth week, he's like actually asked Azawa for photos of everybody and class one, not just A, B, C, D, all of them. And he's pretty much asking Deku why, and Deku pretty much say, actually it's for my quirk. And he said, "Okay, you're that motion quirk." And he said, "Yes. With my emotion quirk, I need," and he's pretty much lying, "I need people that have one particular emotion I've been looking for, and I just need to find it. And as I was pretty much asking, what is it? And Deku said, jealousy. It's the color brown. I don't have it. I haven't found anybody that has the most. And he pretty much telling him some stupid excuse that it's pretty powerful and it can affect the person's mood if they have too much of it. And so he's pretty much told that same thing to Nezu, and Nezu agreed and gave it to Deku. But Nezu pretty much said, keep a close eye on him. So they do, and Deku is lurching through everything, and their quirks, and somehow their personality. And Deku found two people that's in class 1B that would be perfect for Lorenzo. And one girl, he actually, on Tuesday, he did it all on a week, in a week. And on doing from Monday and Tuesday. On Wednesday, he confronted the girl and say, hey, sorry. He kind of did that scene of accidentally bumping into each other, because girls pretty much like doing that, and some guys do it too. And so he pretty much does the same, saying, "Oh, I'm sorry, um, uh, uh, I'll pick up the book and put it away." And she said, "Oh, it's okay, it's okay." And Zuko said, "Oh, I'm Zuko from class 1A," and she's kind of shocked, and she said, "Well, hello, I'm not giving her a name. I'll give her a name, but she's not gonna be important." She said, "I'm Sarah," and they're pretty much gonna shake each other's hand, and they could pretty much say, "Well, hello, Sarah." And so he sees her emotions, how everything is, and the love meter is pretty low, but everything else is pretty high. And so he just pretty much took the emotion of sadness and said, "Well, I'm very sorry about this, but you seem really nice. Do you have a boyfriend of something?" And then he said, "Oh, I'm sorry. I just really curious, and I just I'm." He's making himself seem really nervous and scared. And he sees one particular emotion that seems like she really hates, and that's guys that are pretty scared. So he's doing that. And he's like pretty scared, and he's looking at her with his eyes and say, "Oh, I'm sorry. If my eyes seems different, it's just because of my quirk are acting up right now." And she said, "It's okay, it's okay. I'm just not looking for somebody right now." And as she said that, he looked in her mind and see that she's not really is not looking for to date. She's pretty much, if someone asks her, she will say no to him, right at that spot, saying no and not even think about it. And so Deku said, "Well, then thank you, and I'm sorry." And he pretty much started walking off kind of nervously. And she was kind of surprised that a one egg student is acting like that, and pretty much assumed that maybe they're all not like that. And so after he turned the corner, he said, "Well, no, I'm that one." And so he on Thursday he does the same thing with this other girl, and she's, dang, I don't know her name. She's the girl with the vines for hair. It's getting hot in here. Sorry. And so she's there. So he does the same thing, same interaction, same acting, and this time he sees her, and he's actually more calm. He doesn't really care. He seems more like a punk of some sort, because I see on her in the fighting scenes, she pretty much turn around and do a prayer of some sort. So it seems like she's really religious. So I'm going to assume that she's a religious at this point. If I'm wrong, then fuck. Well, oh well. I'm going to make her this way. And so he actually act like a punk and say, "Hey, you seem pretty cute. Want to go out?" And she said, "No, I don't want to go out with you." And as he looked at her mind, it seems like everything seems good. Everything, her love meter is pretty up and down, moving up and down. And as she said that, he looked in her mind and saying, I would never date a guy that acts so rudely to me. Maybe someone that's really nice. And so Deku got that in mind and said, well then, alright, you don't have to be so rude about it, and walk away. And so he checked that mark and said, okay, this will be perfect for him. It was pretty easy. I can't believe I got this. And so on Friday, this would be where they're going on the bus and going to the USJ, or yeah, USJ, and pretty much getting in the orderly line and going to it. As they're going on the bus. Okay, everybody. Sorry, but this is going to be the end of it. I have some important things to do, so this will be the end. Sorry.